Good evening and welcome to 365 Days of Amazing Stories with Theo Mayer. Here we are on day 246 of 2024. I'm continuing the story of the Master Maid. The king's son had taken a position with a giant to serve him. He'd been given a room and told that he was not to go into any of the other rooms. He was also given a job to clean out the stalls where the goats were kept in the evening. She looked and saw that there was not much to clean and thought this would be very easy. So he had checked into all of the rooms and seen one cauldron after another with liquid boiling with no fire. The fourth door he opened. In it was the most beautiful woman he had ever seen, sitting on a bench. She turned, and when she saw him, she said, "What in heaven are you doing here?" He said, "Well, I've taken up employment with the giant." "Oh, I had wished for you that you would take employment up somewhere else." "Why is that?" said the youth. "He seems perfectly reasonable. He's not given me hard work to do today." "Really?" she said. "What is it that he asked you to do?" He said, "Well, he has asked me to clean out the stalls where the goats are kept in the evenings." "And how do you plan on doing that?" she asked. "Well, there is a pitchfork there, and certainly I will just use it and quite easily get the manure that's in there out. Oh, of course, there's a little straw bedding as well, but it shouldn't be a problem. And in the meantime, we can talk, because it should only take me a little while." "Well, that would be very nice," she said, "but I can tell you, if you go about trying to clean it in the way that you're thinking, for every scoopful that you put out, 10 shall come falling back in. You must do it in the way that I describe. Turn the pitchfork around, and holding it by the end that you would typically use to shovel the manure and the bedding out, hold it there. Use it in quite the opposite direction, and all will go well." From that point in time, they started talking, and they found that they were quite fond of each other. By the end of the evening, they had decided that it would be very nice indeed if they could marry each other. Well, the Master Maid, she reminded the king's son that he had better clean out the stalls before the giant returned with the goats, or things would not go well. And so he quickly went out and began to work, not in the way the Master Maid had told him. And it was just as she had said. For every scoop that he threw out, 10 more fell in. After a short bit of time, he hardly had a place to stand in the stalls, so he flipped the pitchfork around and began to use it as the Master Maid had described. And within a few moments, everything was clean, spick and span clean. He returned to his room and began to hum and sing, and before long the giant came in and said, "Have you cleaned the stalls?" And he said, "Yes, indeed I have. Thank you for giving me such an easy job to do today." "We shall see about that," said the giant. And he went out to inspect the stalls and found that indeed they were cleaned. "You must have been talking to the Master Maid," he said. "Master Maid?" said the king's son. "What is that?" "I would certainly like to know what that is, Master." The king's son acted as if he was completely stupid and had no idea what the giant was talking about. The giant responded and said, You shall see her soon enough. And we'll leave the story there.